Hey Paul, hope you're well. So now we're into the final 10 games of the season. How do you think it's gone for Barrow so far?
Absolutely spot on. It's funny, when I started the season, I actually tracked every game. So I went through the whole process. And I think at that point, I had us winning 87 points at the end of the season.
Yeah,
And I think I think we're at 1 point or 2 points ahead of where I thought we were going to be. So it's absolutely dead on. Now, I was being very optimistic at the time. And I thought, okay, if this is actually what I wanted to happen, this would happen.
yeah,
So it's gone better than I ever thought it possibly could.
yeah. So it's gone as well as you hoped when you
Better,
yeah.
better, right? It's gone as well as I dreamed it might possibly go
Yeah.
if everything went right.
What's been your favourite moment or highlight of the season so far?
Interesting. I was in my office and I was listening to the game, and it was the afternoon in Dallas because it was a night game. It was the Hensford game. We just come off that difficult 4-4 tie against Hyde.
Yeah,
And I was listening to the commentary on the radio. It's a freezing cold night, and I think 800 people were in the ground. And I was sort of pacing back and forwards, and then Andy Cook scored. We were 1-0 down, 86 minutes gone. Andy Cook scored, and I went, oh. Because to lose again after the loss to Fylde and then the draw to Hyde would have been heartbreaking. And then I couldn't listen for a while. I just basically couldn't stand it.
No.
And then the next thing, I looked at the live score, and we were 2-1 up. And I couldn't believe it. So I went back to the radio, rewound the feed, and Sam Sheridan scored that free kick. And I sort of did a little jig around the office. And then I couldn't even bear to listen to the last 3 minutes. So I sort of wandered around my office for 3 minutes and then came back to find out that we won. And I thought at that moment, that was when the team showed that they had that something that they just were not going to lose. When it came to the fact that their backs were against the wall and the season was perhaps on the line. Cold night, people freezing to death in the stand, I'm sure. Basically, they came through.
Yeah. So what's it like living in Texas and following the club?
Oh, it's brutal. It's brutal. Saturday mornings are awful. So the game starts at 9 a.m., right? So you start to wake up pretty early and you start just have this horrible feeling in the pit of your stomach that, you have, it's different watching a game. Because when you're watching the game, you're sort of caught up in it and things that happen you can see. Listening to on the radio, you feel so dissociated with it. It's awful. It's absolute agony every minute. And and so Stephanie has it on Twitter, which is about 2 minutes ahead of where the Radio Cumbria feed is. So
I update that sometimes.
Right. So I watch her face, and her face goes, and her face sort of goes, oh. And I know something bad is about to come on the radio.
Yeah.
It's grim.
Do you ever miss living in Barrow?
I don't think I miss living in the UK. It's a great place to visit.
Yeah.
But I've lived in the US for so long, and I've become so Americanized, and of course our kids are all American, that it's become, I mean, in truth, that's where we really call home now. But it's a great place to visit, and obviously my roots are here, and I still have relatives here. So I've come back. I'm happy to come back. I feel fondly about the people and obviously the club and the area, and so it's a great place to come back. But I mean, would I ever move back? Probably not.
Yeah. So do you follow any other kind of sports over in America?
Yeah, all of them. Yeah, I'm like anybody, right? I'm a sports freak. So any kind of sport known to man, I'll watch.
Yeah.
Right. So basically, football, American football, baseball, basketball. Interestingly enough, I don't watch Major League Soccer that much. Although A.F.C. Dallas is one of their better teams, and I think it's coming the standard is coming to be better. So but yeah, we'll see. I mean, anything. I mean, I'll watch anything.
Yeah.
Golf, motor racing, you name it, I'll watch it.
Yeah. What message would you give to kind of stay away fans or to like Barrovians in general to encourage them to like to come on down and support Barrow?
Oh, I'd just say, look, this is the most fun that you can have. Right? Losing is not fun, right? I get that.
No.
Absolutely not fun. And so if the team was losing, I admire those that stick through the club through thick and thin. I mean, those true supporters, absolute salt of the earth, love them to death. You can't do without them. But I also, there's people who want to be entertained. There's people who want to come have a good time. Nothing better than winning.
No.
Nothing better than beating somebody's brains out on a football pitch, right? When they come, nothing feels good.
Yeah.
And it feels good when your team is successful. That's why I think sport is one of those things that people like, because at the end of the day, there's this feel-good factor.
Yeah.
And I think if people really, we're committed to winning. We're committed to winning at this level and the next level and whatever level it is we play at. And there's a lot of fun. So just come. It's fun.
Yeah.
May not be that much fun on an evening in January, but when it's minus whatever it is, but it's fun.
So now I've got some quick fire questions for you.
Yep.
Who's your favourite band or singer of all time?
That one varies depending on how mad I am at the time. I mean, my all-time favourite band is U2.
Yeah.
I used to sort of follow them around. There was a couple of years, 10 years ago, I literally did sort of follow them around. I saw them in Australia and Hawaii and, all over. I think I must have seen 10 of their concerts on that How to Dismantle an Atomic Bomb tour. So they're the band that I sort of grew up with, and they really are. Now I think they've kind of sold out a bit. Bono has gone a little weird. It's sort of, so it's difficult.
Yeah.
But going back to the old, Streets with No Name is still my favourite song of all time.
What's your favourite food?
Oysters.
Oysters.
Yeah, and I came to them fairly late in life. Basically, I was in a restaurant in Sydney, and it was this famous chef, and they have a menu that they give you that you have no choice.
Yeah.
And so the first thing on the menu was an oyster, and I'd never eaten one before in my life, and I didn't actually think that I would like it. And then I tried it, and it was amazing. And so ever since then, I've loved them.
Yeah. Do you have them quite regularly?
Yeah, actually do. Yeah, well, basically, from the Gulf. We're not that far from the Gulf in Texas, and we get them in basically on both coasts.
Yeah.
And you can get, and they vary a lot. People normally think an oyster is just an oyster, but they're not. They vary in size and consistency.
Yeah, depending what portion.
And maybe, it's part of the Barrovian thing, right? It's that seafood.
Yeah.
I remember growing up getting clams and cockles and shrimp.
Yeah.
And so maybe it's the sea, right? Maybe it's the fact that you can taste the sea in the oyster. But
what's your favourite TV show, maybe of all time?
Downton Abbey.
Downton Abbey.
Yeah, order. Kind of weird, but no. I watched that thing 3 times.
Yeah.
Every episode, it's amazingly well crafted, I think.
Yeah.
I think the content is ridiculous, but I don't know. It's just very engaging.
Yeah. And what's your favourite film?
Gladiator. When he said that line, unleash hell. And then the other one that he said was, what we do in life echoes through eternity.
Yeah.
Very powerful statements, and to be actually to say those on a film that
sticks with you,
and and to do that, oh, he's not acting.
No.
I think, but I love that film from start to finish. Basically a person who had everything. It was all taken from him and then fought back.
Yeah, it's got a good moral.
I don't know. Yeah,
buzz, yeah.
It is, and was well done. And Russell Crowe's kind of like guy's guy. So.
If you could have a superpower, what would you have?
Oh, I'd like to fly, wouldn't you? I think that'd be great.
Yeah, same on planes.
It's not that. It's just walking is such a pain, right? And if you drive in the UK, right, drive up the M6 from London to Barrow, particularly on the day when we were driving up for that Harrogate game. I thought, oh. So a little Superman action. I mean, I'd even wear the cape.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know about those. The rest of it, but flying would be definitely it.
Tell us something we didn't know about you, like a fact.
I have the world's worst eyesight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't know, call it vanity or call it what, but I rarely wore glasses when I was growing up. In fact, it's something I inherited from my mum because she was the same way.
Yeah.
She had the world's worst eyesight, and she would never wear glasses either. And
No.
when she got later in life, I mean, she was really bumping into things.
Yeah.
So hopefully I can get over it, but I have. so if I don't recognize anybody, don't feel bad.
No.
It's because I can't see you.
In the World Cup, so we had the World Cup in the summer, did you support the USA or England?
I supported the USA.
Did you want England to do well?
I didn't like the way they prepared.
No.
I didn't like. There's lots of things
Yeah.
I didn't like about that setup.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't take that as any kind of national thing. I mean, when I was growing up, I was the world's biggest Liverpool supporter.
Yeah.
But when Rafa Benitez there, I couldn't bring myself to support them. Now, some people would say you should support your team through thick and thin,
Yeah.
right? And I do. At the end of the day, if England got to the World Cup final by any miracle, then I would support them,
Yeah.
right? But I thought the US in the World Cup did it a little better. They prepared a little better. They had less to work with.
Yeah.
I think Jurgen Klinsmann is probably a better manager than Roy Hodgson at that
Yeah.
level, or better for motivating players. I don't know. That's just my
Yeah.
opinion. But I think they just, I think they did better, and they went further.
Yeah.
Right? They
yeah,
went
yeah.
further, and they did more with little,
Yeah.
or they did more with less. So that's what's. I mean, it didn't have anything to do with national pride or anything.
No.
I think if I mean, I want to be proud of the England team.
Yeah.
I want to believe that they're all in it, that they all want to play for England, they all want to play for the badge, and they'll do whatever. There are just some things every now and again that I don't see.
Yeah.
When they complain about the fact that they're bored, or they need entertainment, or they need something, they should be fighting, right?
Yeah.
They should be swimming.
Yeah.
They should swim
Or
to wherever
fly.
they go. Right, or fly if they have a superpower. They should fly to wherever it is they need to go to
Yeah.
get there, right? So.
That's it. Thank you
Right.
very much.